A game review by Christian Nutrition? Oh, blasphemy. Fear not, loyal viewers of Christian Nutrition, for today I am reviewing LarryBoy and the Bad Apple on PS2, so it's completely related to what I normally review. You may recall my review of the actual episode where I thought it was actually the strongest LarryBoy episode of the trilogy, and the rock song at the end was awesome. Apparently, they were really confident in launching LarryBoy as a brand. I don't know why. It was about 7-8 years late to the party for that, but they were really confident in 2006, as not only did they make like this movie, but they also made a PS2 game and a Game Boy Advance game, and it really felt like this was gonna be a thing for them. At least that's what they thought, because I mean, it was released on Blu-ray. How much confidence can you really show at that point? I don't want to say this game was like a major deal, because that would be lying, but it was a big enough deal for IGN to review it. IGN, yeah, them. And they gave it a 4.8 out of 10. A 4.8 out of 10?
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
How dare they stomp on the LarryBoy name like that? Only us Christians can, and only if it is at least 10 years after the fact. Don't they know the rules? Let's review LarryBoy and the Bad Apple on PS2. Let me mention before we start that while the footage here is 24 FPS, the game actually runs at 30. For some reason, my recorder's limit is 24, so I know that the game actually runs a bit smoother than this because I've played it without the recorder and it runs at 30, but just bear with me, the game isn't actually this choppy. First things first, let's take a look at the story. Actually, it's just the same story from the movie. The Bad Apple is trying to take over Bumbleberg by tempting everyone with their favorite vice. You know, for LarryBoy, that's chocolate, Petunia, it's video games, so on and so forth. You are better off just watching the movie itself than coming to this game for the story. It really isn't worth your time, as they Hobbit trilogy this thing by taking a 40-minute movie and expanding it to a full-blown game. Speaking of that, this game is essentially a platformer slash collectathon, something that was well on its way out of style in 2006. The gameplay would have been better suited on the PS1 slash N64 era of consoles, you know, back when LarryBoy was actually popular. It would have worked out. But even in those days, I don't think this game would have been near the cream of the crop. Not close. It would have been more average, and there are a few reasons to that. Number one is the controls. LarryBoy controls, he's really floaty, and it doesn't control as nicely as you would want him to in a platformer, especially when you're trying to make jumps that don't seem like they're precise, but then when you control LarryBoy, you're like, oh man, this should be a lot easier, but LarryBoy's making it hard, just like in actual episodes, I guess. I found a lot of times I would be jumping and completely missing easy jumps because the timing of everything just never feels right. I made sure it wasn't just me by jumping over to Super Mario and playing that or Donkey Kong, and no, all that felt completely fine. Like, it feels exactly the way you would expect to in a platformer, but not here. They seem to have messed that up here. He controls in a way that's not stopping you from doing your best, but LarryBoy has you fighting the trolls the entire time. It's quite frustrating. Aside from that, the rest of the game is pretty average for a PS1 and 64 era game. However, this is clearly a budget title, and has nothing new and exciting is here, and in fact, it is incredibly easy. And aside from the controls, I was hoping the boss battles would be, you know, at least the challenging part of it, 'cause I know the game's probably made for kids, and it really is. But no, they were all cakewalks. But on the plus side of things, the soundtrack of VeggieTales, the best part sometimes in a VeggieTales episode, here it's only average. That's right, this game's soundtrack is average. How is that even possible? Well, actually, every level has the same music looping over and over again. It makes me want to mute it, and in fact, I actually did mute it. Got to a point where I'm like, clearly they're not going to play the good music of VeggieTales, they're just going to play this generic game music, so I just muted it. And you know, anyways, it has a certain effect on you that would make you want to check into a mental hospital, is really where I'm getting at here, which is unfortunate. I was hoping this game would take full advantage of the music from the LarryBoy episodes, but it does not. I mean, you have the awesome rock song and the, you know, pretty good theme song from the first two episodes of LarryBoy, and nope, no advantage taken here. Thankfully, the game doesn't, you know, force you to play for too long, as it's pretty short in my opinion. It only takes about 4 hours or so to beat. The extras are the coolest part, but that's not really saying much, as a lot of them are unlockable extras. And sure, in the era of the internet today, the internet as we know it today, these are all Googleable. Like, you could access every image of me. But in 2006, this would have been a nice treat. Overall, this game is average, and it feels like just another budget title that with the VeggieTales logo slapped on it. It's very unfortunate. There's so many things they could have done with this license that they did not take advantage of, and it's just frustrating. Mostly the controls are the frustrating part, in my opinion. But even if the controls worked as well as they did, the game wouldn't have vastly improved. would have still been the same game, just a little bit better controls. This game does not make me want to play the Game Boy Advance version, which might be better, and it doesn't even make me want to rewatch the episode, which I really want to rewatch all the episodes, but no, it actually discourages me from watching this episode again. But I will watch the episode again because the theme song is amazing.
There's no hero quite like LarryBoy.
Really, aside from the license of VeggieTales, this game is completely forgettable, and I do not recommend you to play it. Some of you may remember it from your childhood and love it, but it really doesn't hold up as well as you think, so I don't recommend playing it, but if you really want to, I guess you could. It only costs like $5. Anyways, that's the end of the fan marathon, and let me tell you guys, it was pretty fun doing all these episodes. What's in the Bible, 3-2-1 Penguins, the LarryBoy episode, and of course, the punishment of VeggieTales on Netflix. But anyways, from here on out, we're going to be on a warpath to finishing these episodes. A warpath to finishing the reviews. And yes, we will finish the reviews. There will be no more diversions. We'll not be going off and doing other series or anything. No, we're just on a warpath to finishing the episode. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun, exciting ride. But remember that God made you special, and He loves you very much. Bye.